Hey homeschool friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Heather, and we are going into our 5th year of homeschooling this year. I have an upcoming 5th grader and an upcoming 1st grader. And what I wanted to share with you today was a free lesson that we just finished trying out last week. I know it's the summertime, but I am a sucker for free stuff and trying out things. But we have been using the whole past year, the nature studies, the science nature studies from Treehouse Schoolhouse. And I wanted to continue to use them this year, but with having an upcoming 5th grader, I felt like she needed a little bit more in science. So I started my research and found a couple different things that we're going to use this upcoming school year. And since then, I found out that Schoolhouse Treehouse was releasing, in addition to her nature studies, an intermediate level edition that you can use right alongside her regular nature studies. So of course that got me thinking, we loved these nature studies so much, we did them the entire year and it was free. So I thought, you know what, let's try it out. So I want to share with you what her nature studies look like and then what the intermediate edition looks like. So she has it broken down by season, and here's the autumn one here. I'll show you the topics that are studied. You can see that. And then this is how I organize it by week here. So I just keep everything that's needed for that week in these little pockets. And that's how I keep it all organized. So what she has for free is week 5 from autumn, which is fungi. And that's what I prepared and did with my kiddos this past week. So I kind of want to show you what that looks like. So in her regular typical nature studies, she gives you a list of everything that's included. So with every week, you're going to get a folk song, a hand rhyme, a poem, a picture study, living book suggestions. There are display sheets in here and hands-on activities with every week. She gives you a breakdown of what a week could look like. So you could use this as is, or you can make it work in your homeschool. There's always a cute little poem, and her illustrations are always so beautiful. A copywork page. This is the folk song, and there's links for that. And then here's the hand rhyme. There's videos on her YouTube channel that we learned the little hand rhyme with. Here's the picture study. And if you're new to incorporating artwork and picture studies in your homeschool, she gives you a list of questions to kind of get their minds thinking when they study art, which was super helpful to me. A diagram and then a blank one for labeling. And the pages are stuck together. All the different types of mushrooms, not all of them because there are so many of them. Here's a few of them. And then a little hands-on activity that we actually started with because we had some mushrooms in our garden. So we went and picked those and did some spores prints. So that kind of got them engaged in the week, like right away. So here is what the edition is. So she has listed some more advanced books. So what I did is I got a few from the more advanced list, and then I got a few from the regular one. So I had one for each day. This was the cutest little book. It's about a mom that goes on a nature hike with her kiddos and all the different mushrooms they find. I think that one was my favorite. Okay, so she's got more advanced living books on there. She's got the multimedia references now. And my little guy loved watching these. So I love that that's added in there now. She has, let me just show you. So there is a more advanced poem that you could use for copy work. A more intricate picture study, and you can use the same questions too. We looked at both of them. We kind of just took these two and kind of meshed them together and made them work for us. And then there was a recipe, and then this was learning about yeast, where you got to see the yeast cells under the microscope, which was super cool. My kids loved doing this. And then for the older children, she has a recommendation to do a picture dictionary. So they're working on more advanced vocabulary and dictionary work. So we did that with my older child. I just had these little books on hand. So she wrote down her word and her definition and drew a little picture to go with it. I picked up this in the meantime because I feel like she would get a lot more in it. So I'm going to somehow I don't want to not keep this, but I just didn't think she would get very far with just a few pieces of paper. So there's the picture dictionary, and then there's always the narration work, and you can adapt this to, of course, your children's levels. So my older daughter wrote hers on her own, and then my son orally narrated to me, and I wrote it for him, and then he just traced over it. So you can definitely adapt it to multiple ages, which is what I was looking for science in our homeschool. Oh, and we did a watercolor from this book here. There was a really neat lesson here. And so each of my kiddos had a book and did this with this lesson too. So there was so much for us to do, and we loved it so much. So I can't wait for this to be released. This week specifically on fungi is free. So if you want to do a free week just to check it out, I love trying stuff out for free. I'll link a code in the description for 10% off of any of her nature studies if you're interested. Just use the code Hangin' with Heather, and that'll get you 10% off too. Who doesn't love a savings? So yeah, I definitely plan on using this year and incorporating it in our morning basket, as well as some of the other science studies that I had found in my research, but I'm excited to use this in our homeschool again. I plan on do a lesson with us as we get our school year started. So if you would like to see that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I hope that this was helpful for you. I'm so glad that you're here, and thanks for hanging out with me.